Hey, Khalan, I guess I'll jump in and start this thing. Just how's it feel just to be back at camp? The last time we talked to you, didn't know if it was all going to happen. What's the first week been like, especially with pads on?
It's a great feeling knowing we're gonna have a season now. It's been an awesome feeling knowing that we have a game coming up in a few weeks, and just I'm embracing everything that comes with it. I'm just so happy to be back in pads and back in camp. It's a great feeling.
I know you guys lose Dele in the middle of that linebacker crew, but how do you feel that you, Delano, and all the other guys are kind of stepping up to kind of fill that void?
I feel like we're gonna be a pretty great group this year. We have some very great linebackers in our room, so I think we'll do good this year, even though we lost Dele last.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Hey,
Khalan, how
Kalen.
much?
Oh,
Go ahead, Jim.
Go ahead, Bob.
You're first.
Kalen, I know Jeremy just talked to you about, getting back into practice. But now that you guys are in pads, does it seem all that more real that things are going to happen after all?
Yeah, it definitely seems more real. Like at first, to this point, we didn't really know before the Big Ten made their decision, but now it seems very realistic.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go next if you don't mind. Hey, I know you're really close to Bobby Roundtree. Just can you kind of give me an update of how's he doing? How much did you get to see him?
I mean, we talk every day. We're in a group chat. We FaceTime a lot. He's doing very good. He's back in Florida right now, recovering still, but he's getting there. So he's doing very good.
I know last year he kind of served as an inspiration for you guys, for the team. Is that going to continue like beyond this year? You think that's going to be kind of an always type thing for you or not?
Of course, he's definitely always going to be there with me. He's always going to serve an inspiration to me.
Do you guys know he's going to be back for games this year? Is that a thought, or is it too tough for him to travel?
I'm hoping he can come back, but I don't really know at this point. I haven't really asked him about if he's going to come to a game.
I keep hearing good things about how his progress is. I see things online, Twitter. You see him all doing things all the time. How is he feeling, and where is he in his recovery?
He's pretty close. He's definitely feeling good. He's definitely in positive spirits. So I'm glad I can see that.
And what do you think long term? Could he be a coach? Could he be what do you think he'll do long term?
Long term,
Yeah.
he could be a motivational speaker, a coach, whatever he decides. I see it all.
Thanks so much. Great talking to you about it.
Thank you.
Hey, Kalen, I want to go back to the Michigan State game last year and when you found out about Jake's injury and that you'd be starting and that, big game trying to get bowl eligibility. What was going through your mind at the time when you knew it was your turn to step up?
First, I was in class, then I got a text message saying that I needed to come to the facility to meet with my coach. Then he just explained everything to me, and then it was kind of a big shock because I didn't really know anything that was going on with Jake. So it was just a big shock to me, but I had to step up, and I had been ready to step up. So I'm glad I got a position to do that.
Were you a little worried when you got the text? Do you think you were in trouble or something?
No, because I'm a good student. I never get in trouble here.
Yeah. And then, the rest of the season was, a lot of players talk about the first game is just a whirlwind, and then it kind of settles down from there. I know you had played, in several games over a year and a half, but, what was it like to really step up into there and then, suddenly you're forced into every play action?
It was just at first it was kind of I had to get into the flow of the game, but then after that, once I found my flow, I felt pretty good, pretty comfortable in the game.
Was there a single play or anything you remember of like, okay, this is real and this has to happen?
I would say my fumble recovery when he got the snap like kind of over his head, and I went in got the fumble recovery. That was kind of unreal. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And then, this year, I know you've kind of bounced around. You've probably played all three linebacker spots here and there at different times. So where are you most comfortable and what, where are you running right now and how do you feel about it?
Our outside linebackers are pretty much the same position. So I've been doing Sam and Will stuff. I haven't really ran with the mic, but the Sam and Will is pretty identical. So you can say either linebacker on the outside is pretty much the same.
So you feel pretty comfortable at either one Milo said the same thing that it's somewhat interchangeable. You feel comfortable with both of those?
Yes, sir. I do feel comfortable.
Okay, thanks.
Khalan, thanks for doing this. You mentioned the fumble recovery, and now your third year with Lovey. Obviously, takeaways are such an identity of him and your defense. What's it like? I mean, you practice it a lot, but how different is it compared to what you practiced like in high school? Does that make sense? Like, what's different about practice and ripping the ball like that?
High school, you kind of really going through the motions, but here on defense, as you get older, start to mature more. The goal of our defense is start trying to score every play. So we just keep that mindset for every play. Every time we're out there on the field, we're trying to score every play.
Have you ever been a part of something where like it's very clearly the emphasis and like that's something that you guys work on?
High school, not so much, but when I got here, yeah, it's a big emphasis on trying to score every play on defense, playing for Coach Smith.
And obviously, you're going into a season where probably gonna start. It sounds like. What's that like for you? In terms of mindset, how do you approach this season versus maybe the last two?
The season's here, so it's time to grind, get in that playbook. School and football are the only two things I'm worried about right now, honestly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Khalan. It's been a while since you guys have put the pads on. How are you guys feeling physically? I mean, do you feel pretty banged up, or how do you deal with, I guess, some of the physical repercussions of maybe not going so long without contact?
Even though we haven't been in pads, we've been working out a lot, so I don't feel pretty banged up. And also, the hot and cold tubs help out a lot with your lower body because your lower body can tend to get tired from working out and then going through practices out there in the sun. So I feel pretty good right now, honestly.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I mean, you've talked about this linebacker group, and you started the last 4 games last season. How much does that help you just in terms of having that under your belt? What do you take away from that?
Experience can mean a lot at linebacker, meaning that you don't really see a lot of linebackers playing early across the country. But experience helps out a lot because you know what to expect and know what's coming for you while you're in the game.
Hey, Khalan, I got to follow up. What's the key to getting takeaways? I know Lovey preaches it and everybody preaches it, but what's the key to actually doing it in practice?
Practice how you play. I can say that. Just read your keys, do everything you're supposed to do, and try to get a takeaway.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Sure.
What are you seeing as the comfort level of this linebacker group? You guys all have, some experience under your belt. Obviously, Jake with quite a bit, and Milo last season. How do you guys feel comfort-wise?
We feel pretty good right now. We have some great players in the room. So Jake actually helps out a lot because he has experience over everybody. So he's just there to kind of guide us, mentor us. So we feel pretty comfortable about that.
What do you see from the younger guys like a Tariq or a Shaman? I mean, those guys had some, a lot of eyes on them when they got there.
These guys are starting to step up, play their position. So I'm happy for them. I like to see that they're learning and growing as players.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Khalan, you just mentioned Jake kind of with his experience kind of just naturally leading that group. Is there anyone that you kind of have looked to maybe, get some guidance as you're kind of stepping into a bigger role this season?
I pretty much go to Jake. He knows the whole defense like the back of his hand. So I would say Jake if I had to choose anyone because he just knows what goes on around the whole defense. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Khalan.
Thank you.
These two things.